Hey John, okay, here's what we got for the next project. Let me open up a few things. Okay, so if you're looking at the course and you go to section 2.5, deductive tasting grid, you'll see in the tabs in Cite that the first tab, Cite, is completely done the way that we want nose, palate, and conclusions to look. So we have two parts. We've got an H5P course presentation, and then an H5P drag and drop. So I'm doing the drag and drops, but I figure we'll get everything done a lot quicker if you can do the presentations. So what I've done is I've created one of these for each of these tabs already so that you don't have to start from scratch. You can use Cite as an example, and I'll show you where the content comes from in just a second. You'll see that nose apparently doesn't have one in there. It should just have a placeholder. There it is. Nose has a placeholder right now, and it's because I've already put the code in there. You don't actually have to go into the course page to edit it. You'll go into H5P instead. And so palette also has one, and conclusions also has one. Okay, so now how to actually edit these. So if you go into NVWA Online, go to all H5P content, and the first four things that you see are the three of them are the ones you're going to be working on. So I've already done the first one, which was Cite. So this one's done. Nose is the next one that you'll want to do. So you'll go in here and you'll click Edit. And I have a place for you to put the title and then whatever information is related to the first point. And I've got this check mark, which I'll show you what to do with in just a second. Let's go to the course content. This is the advanced course content, that document that you already have. But I'll send you a link just so you have a fresh link. This is page 26. And you'll see that I got the information for Cite from right here, all the way down to here. And so if you want to look back over that presentation for Cite, I don't know why I'm having to refresh to get that to show up, but I am, so that's weird. So you'll see the information that I have on each slide comes from this information right here. And anytime there's something that says, like, talking about the color, for instance, if it's pink or purple in color, you'll notice, I think I did color first. You'll notice that I've got a check mark on whatever it's talking about. So this one said pale, so I checked pale. That one's pale as well. Deep, so I checked deep. So I just moved that little check mark that's in your template to wherever it needs to go. Purple goes on purple, so on and so forth. All right, so for your content, you're gonna do nose, palette, and apparently there's not one. Oh, there, yeah, and conclusions. Nose, palette, and conclusions. So starting with nose, for instance, we'll do a couple as an example. We say he starts with faults. This is not going to be a perfect science because he's a little unorganized, to say the least. So I'm going to come over to here. And false is the first thing on my list, so that's good. So what does he say about false? Brett, or the presence of the A, and instead of the equal sign, I do this. Click on this content. Click on the pencil. And then I'm just going to put it enter and just throw this in and see what I want to do with it. So, presence of VA. I think I could just do this. Indicates the following. And then come back over here. Copy that. And honestly, I'll probably just throw it in like that for now. And all those little spaces are just, I mean, it looks good just listed, but there may not be enough room to do that on the page. I'll show you that. Well, you can see over here. There is, so that's not bad. I don't hate that. But if you want to match sort of the look and feel of the other one, you can put those little, you can put more than one on the line, and I'm just doing space, space, line, space, space. So it's 1, 2, 3 instead of them listed out, and that seems to be working pretty well. And we're talking false. So I'm going to bold this, and he should have that in parentheses. I don't know why he doesn't. And that, and now that gives me my, I can adjust the height here. So he's talking about Brett. So I'm going to pull my, of course. Here we go. You can adjust the size of this if you want. Looks like it's too big for these tiny little things. Okay, so he's talking about Brett, and he's talking about VA, which is right here. So I'm going to make a copy of this. I think you can. I thought you could. Apparently you can't. Bring to front, send to back, edit, copy. Apparently you can't copy that. That's sort of absurd. So I'll send you this picture in case you need to add another one. That is ridiculous. Okay, what size do I have here? 28 by 30. All right, throw that in right here. Okay, and then, oh, I forgot to do my title. So the title of this one is just false, so that we want it to match this right here. So I'll say false. Maybe edit the layout a little bit. And that's our first slide. Now, you don't want to have to recreate the wheel for each slide. So once you're done with your first slide, then you just do clone slide. And that gives you your second slide. And that's when you'll just move down to whatever the next one is. I would go by the order of this. So intensity is our next one. Let's see if he wrote anything about it. And it doesn't appear that he did. What's the next one? Age assessment. I don't know, it's sort of like a puzzle. It's like, what is he talking about exactly? if fruit is dominant, I mean, for that, I would just put a check mark here. So I would move my check. If fruit, I guess any kind of fruit is dominant, I can delete this guy. Change this to fruit. And say, and I'm just doing Control-Shift-V to get rid of any formatting, which is probably an important thing to say. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. Oh, I hate it when it does that. That doesn't look good. You can just play with however these are listed. Maybe all three need to go on the same one. I don't know. Yeah, I think all three. I would probably put all three on the same line, but you've got a good eye for that stuff, so I will leave that up to the artist's decision making. So that's kind of two examples. So I would just kind of try to figure out what he's saying and then put that into this and try to relate it to the grid itself. I don't know how many slides we'll end up having. It's probably the number of slides will be equivalent to the number of these. So for this one, potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh boy. I don't know. Yeah. All the way through to the end of nose. And then you'll just do that. When you're finished with your slides, you will just click update and it automatically updates whatever you've done to this page because it's just a dropped code, a short code. So you see it's already there. So there's no reason to go actually into the course page. You can do everything from H5P. And yeah, when you're done with nose, just come back into all H5P content. The next one would be palette, and I've got the same template made. And then the final one would be conclusions. And again, all of the content that you need is in here. And just go with your gut. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. As you can see, this is how he was planning to present the information to students in the first place. So what we're doing here is most certainly a step above what he would have done in the first place. I think that's it. So what I will send you is this picture of the orange check mark, just in case you need more of them. And this video and another fresh link to this document. And I think that's it. Talk to you soon. Thank you.